All right. My name is Mickey McFetridge. I am a technology integration specialist from Springdale, Arkansas. And I got invited actually by FETC to come here because of the work on my blog. I have a blog called Class Tech Integrate. Cool. And they saw that blog and asked me to come and asked me to kind of guest blog some of the things going on at this conference on their blog. So it's been a good experience.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
And so has it been a great experience? Or so?
It has been a great experience.
Throw it out there. So what sessions, have you hit a lot of sessions? Have you hit a lot
I've done quite a bit of sessions. Of course, we're on the last day. My brain's getting a little full, but we have been fortunate up in Springdale where I work that we've gone one-to-one. This is kind of our third year to be one-to-one, mostly with Chromebooks. Mm-hmm. And so I'm always interested in seeing those sessions that focus on that flipped classroom model. Those are the sessions I've kind of been focusing on. Is flipped classroom, looking for some ways to flip PD for a lot of our teachers, because that's the other challenge is getting these teachers, comfortable having all this technology in their classroom and being able to train them without taking them out of the classroom to do the training. So,
yeah, right. Yeah, that's
exactly.
a big one.
Yeah.
Vendor floor, expo floor.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah.
And you ran into some of our good friends.
Right.
Drew Wallace at NWA3D.
That's right. I was pretty excited to see him here, and that was another thing. We'll kind of give another plug to Drew, like the fact that when he sells his products, he gives that PD with it. I think is huge, because I think that's to a lot of administrators and even to myself, someone who hasn't had a lot of experience with the kids. There's that view that that looks cool. The kids can make toys, but like, what are they really doing with it? And so the fact that he's given that PD experience as well, and I even heard him talking to other people where he's doing it. They can be anywhere because he's doing Flip PD with them virtual.
At Hope, I'm at Hope Public Schools in Hope, Arkansas.
Okay.
So we use NWA3D, and he came down and did his first session, with us. What an excellent teacher. Yeah. Drew's a great teacher. And so the kids were just eating it up. He's really good, real hands-on. He puts the whole work on those guys. But everything they're providing, it's worth, and there's the crazy part. You can buy 6 3D printers from Drew for the price you can buy one. Top name one, but then you get another, $3,000 or $4,000 worth of PD constantly. I mean, you're like, hey, can you get online? Yeah, man. What's the problem? I'll talk to your whole class. Let's get it taken care of. Yeah, that's really awesome.
I think I do too. I think that's huge that they do that.
I'm glad to see Arkansas represented here, and I'm really excited for those guys. This is a big floor, and I think they've solidified themselves in the education service.
I've been down there intermittently 4 or 5 times, and their booth has been packed. So it's been, awesome. I'm really happy for that.
I am too. That's makes me happy.
So on the other side of things, you're here working for FETC, basically.
Right.
So what are some of the things that you've been sharing out, blogging about over the course of the conference?
Mostly just, what I really try to focus on is a mixture of getting some tech tools out to people, but really focusing on the why and the how this is good for your students. And just kind of, in Springdale right now, we're trying to focus on, help our teachers understand that SAMR model, and how we can get, right now, using this, and so there's no bad level in SAMR, we all know that, but just getting to the point where those kids shift from being consumers to creators.
Right.
And so those are the types of things I really look for, and I try to kind of throw out there, or even some of the things like games like Kahoot, which kids love to do. Like, okay, at what level can your kids actually make the Kahoot? Instead of just play the game.
Exactly.
And trying to find those types of things. And I've heard a lot of people kind of give sessions and talk about that aspect of getting kids to be, creators, not just consumers with the tech. So
that's awesome. That's very cool. So I'm going to poke a bear.
Okay.
Possibly, unless you agree, and then we're all good. The SAMR model, right, or SAMR, whichever you
right.
There's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of debate. There's all kinds of folks love it or hate it. It's really weird. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
such a strange beast, really. So it's not really an argument. My take on the problem I see with the SAMR model is that most folks that I have seen attempt to implement it as a one-way staircase, almost like an escalator, right? You start at the bottom and you rise to the top, and when you get to the top, that's it. You're done. Woohoo! You've reached the top in this particular area.
Right,
you know, as you move up through the model. And my argument is more that it's. I wish I had another analogy. I don't have one for the way I think about this, but to me, yes, you're rising to the top in particular areas, you know, trying to get to what you're talking about, you know, the creating and getting all that, but it's not a static stair step thing. It's you could be at any point in the SAMR progression with anything at any time. So in one particular aspect, yeah, you may be at the top, but while you're at the top on that one particular aspect, as you're working through it, you're actually kind of free flowing through the different levels.
Right.
Not everybody sees it that way, so I was just curious.
What we've really...
Am I poking a bear? Or
no, because I do kind of have a love-hate relationship with it a little bit. So... You probably have seen, I think it's Sylvia Duckworth. She does a lot of these sketch notes. So she's got one on SAMR that's a swimming pool.
Oh,
so I don't know if you've seen that one.
No,
but
I haven't.
It talks about, you've got the shallow end of the pool and the deep end. And it kind of actually goes a lot with what you're saying, because it's like when you go swimming, yeah, I can swim in the deep end, but if I do that all the time, I'm absolutely exhausted. Right. And so sometimes I like to go back to the shallow end and hang out for a little bit. You know, work on these things, and then I'll venture back out in the deep end. And so it's that free flowing idea instead of the ladder. Another thing that's really hard for some of our teachers with it is we're so used to thinking of things like blooms and DOK, where it's also kind of up a ladder.
Right.
And so it's easy to get that mentality of, oh, I was only in substitution on this lesson, and that's not good. And we really try to hammer home that no, it's not really it's a good or bad place. It's just knowing where you're at in that model. Right.
And then taking the steps to help you as the teacher and your students, you know, and especially as a teacher helping the students move up that ladder or move over closer to that deep end. I'm going to have to check out that.
Yeah, it really is pretty neat. Cool. And, you know, I think the other thing with it that hopefully we'll get to eventually is the thought that, you know, the other big push here has been the personalization of learning. And so, you know, you may have it where 2 kids are at transformational and 5 kids are at modification and everybody else is you know, in that other level. And I think that that's the ideal probably situation. Most of the time, you're not going to have a classroom full of 28 kids all at transformational all the time. And there's also that idea too, kind of going back to, you could be at a transformational level. This is my opinion. I could be at a transformational level and be at a low level of thinking on blooms as well. So that's kind of why it's an issue of, we still have to think about, you know, what is their DOK or blooms level along with the SAMR, and not think that just because I'm over here, I'm automatically over here on the other model.
Yes, so. Exactly. I was curious what your thoughts on that.
And you know, also because I know they're down in the expo hall too, and I don't always remember their name, but they've got that technology integration matrix. It's the Florida Institute of Instructional Tech, I think. Anyhow, they've got a technology integration matrix down there that's really worth looking into as well. And it talks, it goes kind of that same idea, I think, from enhancement to transformation, but then it talks about these other 5 entry points, like, are we doing you know, are we are students goal setting, and then at what level how are they using the technology to do goal setting? And so it's kind of like it's a pretty cool kind of matrix that I think helps teachers kind of lay it out a little differently.
Yeah, we'll check that out.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm
I was gonna say, Jeff
right, he's
just
already
pulled it
found
up.
it. Yeah.
He found it as
Is
you
that
were
right? Was
talking,
it
so there
Florida?
you go.
I can't.
It's they've got the Technology Institute, University of South Florida.
Yeah, I think that's who. it
Yeah,
is.
Technology
Yeah.
Institute Matrix. Yeah, pretty
And
neat.
so that was something I checked out not too long ago, but they told me the other day that they just redid their website this week. So
That's cool. Yeah, and they've got the matrix up. It's real pretty. It's got all those. Yeah, it's got the entry, the adoption, the adaption.
Yeah.
With the other levels, the active, the collaborative. It's real good. Yeah.
yeah,
Running both
so
ways. Yeah.
so it's kind of cool. I think it's, I will go back to saying I've got that love hate with SAMR. It's kind of some teachers really get it, and others we don't, and then other times even I'm in a team of 4 people that do what we do, and it's kind of we all like almost not argue, but can't always agree where we're at with it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So back to FETC. Any big trends you see, new trends you see that you've heard of, something that seems new on the EdTech scene that you might have noticed in the sessions? We've been trapped here at the table, so we've
been trapped here at the table. I think I've really been interested in the maker space movement, so I've been able to kind of get more of a view on that, and so I know that that's maybe not new, but I think it's still something a lot of people are learning about, trying to grasp. How can I do this in my classroom and make this work?
We had a great conversation yesterday with a school that won the what award was that? It's one of the FETC awards. And
Yes, it's that STEM. It was one of the STEM
awards.
Yeah.
or maybe it was the STEM award.
For
now that
their
I'm thinking about it.
makerspace product. What they had done is they had it wasn't a partnership. It was they were
It was a
working
collaboration.
a collaboration with the U.S. Patent Office.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they were helping the kids learn about how to patent, how to legally use the object that they're building. And it wasn't necessarily if they were building these changing objects. It was like, let's learn the whole idea of how to patent this and how to get a copyright and how to take care of all this. And that was a big part of their makerspace. What a great idea, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you learn the whole legal aspect of how the
Yeah.
United States does its whole patent. That's a big one right there.
Yeah. I think
Well,
so,
and
too.
just to kind of go back to what you said about makerspace isn't quote unquote new. I equate a lot of anything that's going on, well, really in any industry, but especially in education. It's one of those things where I used to work in radio, right? And so when I was DJing on the radio, we'd have to play a song like once every hour and a half. And so for me in my shift, I already heard the song, what felt like 52 times. And so, by the end of day 2, I'm like, I'm so sick of the song. And everybody else is like, have you heard the new song? And I'm like, it is so not new. And I think it's the same type of premise. If you're in and exposed to it, or that's where you like to dabble, then it may not feel quote unquote new to you, but for other folks, this could very well be the first time they're like, what makerspace? What?
Right,
And
right.
so I think it kind of plays into that same kind of thing, you know, and of course because it is young, so many people are approaching it from so many different angles that anytime you learn anything about it, you're like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Or like when we're talking with those folks and they had the patent office here and they were talking about intellectual property, and I'm like, that never even occurred to me in terms of makerspace and teaching students, what does it mean to do this or not do this? Like they had one student that created an iPhone, not iPhone, but EYE phone. And they had to talk about why you couldn't actually do that, because Apple would still come after you, even though it was spelled different. It has to do with the way it's said and blah, blah,
I think
it's so neat.
A lot of people, equate makerspace with just 3D printing,
right?
And that's not what it is. I mean, it can be metalwork, it can be building stuff with cardboard, it can be dirt, it can be the guys, Christopher Freeman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Their kids, he's an environmental scientist, science teacher. They helped design the new high school, and then they do beekeeping on site, and weigh bees and do all this stuff and send it to all the U.S. Agriculture, really interesting stuff, and that's makerspace. That's problem solving, thinking, and doing. So it's funny how it's changing a lot. People hear makerspace and go, "Well, it's just a bunch of kids printing toys." They think that immediately. No, it actually goes, and that's a great part that I think is happening. Like David said, all these different schools are building their own, and pretty soon we'll have a matrix where we can go, oh, this is the stuff I can do, and here's the course I'm going to take that makerspace. So do you guys have any makerspace areas yet, or are you kind of working on it?
I think we're still working on it. Really, the big I've been with the group I work with, there's 4 of us, and we've worked so much on just this one-to-one initiative that I keep hearing about Makerspace and kind of looking into it, reading articles, but kind of haven't even really dipped my foot in a whole lot yet.
Right.
Of course, we're fortunate in Springdale. We've got a lot of East schools, and so I know that some of those teachers are working with some of it, but I personally haven't had as much experience with it as I've wanted to yet.
That is the makerspace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what it is.
That
when they started that, I remember going to the first one. Was it Greenbrier that built the first? That's where it started.
Possibly, yeah.
That's where it started at. Yeah, East actually started in Arkansas. I mean, it's an Arkansas creation.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Okay, so we'd like to just want to do a quick thing. 45-second elevator pitch. You get on with your hero, and you're going to tell them who you are and what you do and why they need to know you.
Okay.
On the spot. Ready?
On the spot.
On the spot.
There you go. Well, my name is Mickey McFetridge, and I am a technology integration specialist. I was a classroom teacher for 11 years, 3rd and 4th grade, so mostly elementary school. But the last few years in this technology integration spot, I've been able to work with people K-12, teachers K-12. Currently working on a rather large project to build virtual courses for kids in our district or outside of the district, and it's been kind of what I've been passionate about lately, and also a musician on the side. I play saxophone in a band called Full House up there in Northwest Arkansas, and we